Hello there guys, and welcome back to Reborn with Michael Watson. Today I want to talk about the biblical subtext of how to manifest and create from the story of turning water into wine. And I'm going to talk about it from the concepts of Neville Goddard and Joseph Murphy. And I know that this is going to blow your mind. Before I get into that, please do like, share and subscribe. It really helps the video to be seen by more and more people. Also, I'm looking for 10 people next year who want to change their month, change their life over 3 months working with me. If you work with me for 3 months on this individual and group journey, you will see massive changes in your life. So make sure to reach out to me at michaelwatsoncoach.com and make 2024 the best year of your life. So guys, let's talk about the account in the gospel about Jesus turning water into wine. Now, Jesus and his mother and disciples are invited to a wedding at Cana in Galilee. Okay? The Bible always talks about marriages and weddings when it comes to the idea of manifestation. The wedding feast, the marriage between the heart and the mind is often what they're referring to, subconscious and conscious. You see, heart and mind is the conscious and subconscious, the feeling and the thought. But in this story, it goes into another idea of how to turn your consciousness into reality and manifestation, and that's turning the water into wine. So in this story, Mary goes up to Jesus and says they've run out of wine. So Jesus gets the servers to bring the water over to him, to bring the cask of water. Now, water in the Bible represents consciousness in this moment. Consciousness, okay? And then what happens is Jesus then intends with his consciousness to turn something into wine, turn it into wine, which is the manifestation. In this story, what it means is that the coming together of the union of the marriage feast, bringing the water over, taking the intention and putting your intention into your consciousness brings you to the fruition of your manifestation. Let me break it down why I love why this is so important. Wine is the manifestation, water is the consciousness. In marriage, the husband is the consciousness, the wife is the heart or the subconscious mind. What happens when you bring those two together? Consciousness and feeling, okay? That's what it's always telling us. You must marry into your idea. You must be faithful into your idea of what you want to manifest, okay? Now, when you see it as the wedding feast, it's the celebration of consciousness. It's the celebration of the fact that we can use this liquid fluid, effortless energy to transform into a more solid, wonderful energy. This is the thing that I love the most in the Bible and how it breaks it down. It's always telling us through parable. Now, reason why it does that, think about when this was written. Most people at the time were illiterate, so they couldn't take literal writings and share them. So what they did was these illumined men who wrote the Gospels, like Mark, and even in the Old Testament, they used to write them in a parable fashion. So they were like stories. Stories are easier to remember and easier to share. Okay, so we must start to realize that this is why they are written in this way. They are there so that we can retain the message. We can visualize the message of what they're saying. Think about it like this. So he calls forth his consciousness through using the servers. So the servers can be the idea of the flow of the consciousness, brings the consciousness into his vicinity, make sure that he sits with it. He doesn't put any effort. You don't see then he put a load of effort out there and made it happen, do you? You just hear that he prayed over the water, turned it into wine. He just intended it so, never once doubting, never once faltering at this. Now, the reason why I say this is there's a story in Dr. Joseph Murphy's, one of Dr. Joseph Murphy's book about this man. He made £1 million and he lost it all. And on his way back into making that money back again, he started to talk about turning. He says, well, I've had it before, I can do it again. And I'm turning my water into wine again. And this is the idea. It is the first sign, it is the first miracle that Jesus performs in the Bible. You know? So it is the first time that we see him being able to have an effect over matter in that way. And that's why it's such a big teaching. Yeah? It is the teaching of the illumined man, knows how to align his consciousness to bring it to fruition. That means you must never turn away from your ideal. What is your ideal? Well, for me, sometimes clarity is beautiful, but the knowing of what the feeling must be is ideal. See, I like to have the feeling of my future. What does it feel like? Okay, well, you see, one of my goals here is to help millions of people to change their lives through my videos. You know, now I intend that with such faith. Now, I do not see that in front of me as of yet, but if you're watching this video in the future, you may look and see that it's come to be. You see, it's a faith in the unseen. It's starting to sit with my consciousness, know that by every time that I'm taking a step forward toward my idea, that I am turning my water into wine. It's faith. Faith is what we're shown in this parable too. You see, you can change your life through faith expectancy. It's faith and expectancy. So a lovely affirmation I want to leave some of you with is, I live in joyous expectancy of the best, and the best always comes. This is a huge one. I live in joyous expectancy of the best, and the best always comes. That's what you want to know. Think about it like this. One of my other favorite affirmations is I'm where I'm meant to be. I'm doing what I love. I'm infinitely prospered, infinitely blessed. That is definite, but also not too, doesn't hold too much clarity about how that must be. So this is the beauty of it, okay? So what wonderful intention can you put out there today to change your consciousness, your water, into wine, your manifestation? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you at the next one, guys. Take care.